Reuben, return from injury in the last couple of games. It's a short period against Lincoln, get more game time against Arsenal, and then full game against Oxford. How are you feeling with the injuries you've been sustaining recently?
Before Oxford, I was feeling rubbish. Not a bit slow, bit sluggish type thing. That's only natural. I only had a couple of training sessions proper really, and in those sessions, my knee and ankle were sore. That's part of a rehab process. Obviously, in the Oxford game, I was sort of back up to what I felt, full fitness-wise, but just obviously knee sharpness now type thing. I didn't have much pain in my ankle or my knee, despite at the end of the game when I had to put my foot through the ball, which was positive. So yeah, hopefully now I can have a full week's training this week and get back to sort of relatively normal.
When you have injuries that are like those niggly kind of injuries that you sustained, is it about confidence, getting that confidence back from a match game and things like that?
Yeah, because it's going to hurt. I mean, you can take it, you can gauge it day by day, whether, you start jogging, all right, that feels all right, then you start running, you start turning, and you can get into a sprint. But I think because of the actual movement that my leg did to cause the injury, it's more about probably going into a block tackle or striking the ball, kicking the ball, that motion opening up. So every time I'm going to kick that ball, and even, I'd done my left knee, the same type of injury like years ago, and even now I still feel it if you catch it wrong at some point. It's just wear and tear of being a footballer. So at this moment in time now, I know if it does catch wrong, I'm going to be in agony, pain type thing. But then it just sends sort of a response to your knee or your ankle, your body response, sends some blood to it, and it warms up, and then for about 5 minutes you're in agony, but then it feels good again type thing.
Must have been frustrating to be on the sidelines, but in your absence, Tahvon Campbell came into the side, got some minutes and played really well. You must have been pleased to see that. Yeah,
of course, obviously. We've got, in my opinion, we've got starters that can play, but unfortunately, only 11 can play, which is part of having a squad. I know it's all cliche, but it was no surprise for me his performances, because Tav's a good player and will obviously become, with consistency, and once he builds his fitness up and gets his legs properly by playing a lot of games as a professional, then he will become a top class. What's top class? Your Champions League? Champions League. All right, he will become. He will become a top centre forward. But wherever he wants to go, then of course he can Tav can do whatever he wants to do in his career with the ability he's got in his locker. Once he works it out, he'll be all right. But yeah, obviously, I like Tav a lot. We get on well, and I'm looking to learn from him. I think he's looking to learn from me sometimes. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But
I hope so.
Yeah, he was really good, and I was proud of him in the Tranmere game especially, because he was getting not a lot of help from the refs against an experienced centre back, and I think he was a pivotal why we managed to get the 3 points that night. So he was good. Obviously, we came into the Exeter game again. Didn't see much of the ball, but I said to him that was probably your best performance as a centre forward, because you're occupying the back four. It's not all about doing skills and you getting the ball and shooting. You've got to occupy the back four, the back two. Your runs across the line where you think you're blowing, oh, give me the ball type thing, you're opening up space for other people, and he'd done that really well. So yeah, and the Lincoln game was a bit more scrappy, but if I'm not down to play, I'm not selected and Tav goes in, then for me it's pretty much like for like, in my opinion, because obviously he can affect the game as good as it needs to be.
Bodes well for the rest of the season as well, when the squad has got that depth. We've seen the two fullbacks come out in the last week as well. Winnie's gone in and played at right back and done really well. Nathan McGinley was played at left back on Saturday. So there is that strength in depth, even though it's not a deep squad.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's what's been really good. Give the manager some props here, the recruitment. If you sign, from my experience in the game at this level, managers will tend to look at kind of person not be a specialist, but kind of person, fit in here and there. And I think Nathan McGinley, who's a top player, good player in my opinion, by the way. He's got it all. I think he's a natural left back, and I think he slotted in at centre back looking really good, you know. But naturally, I think he's a natural left back. But then we've got Millsy, who's been, you know, really good this season, playing very well, and he's made that position his own. And obviously Winnie's just he's a lovely footballer, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He could play up front, he could play, you know, off the left, off the right, in the back, you know, because he's just got a football brain and he's got that touch, that ability to stop the ball, pass and run. So yeah, with a direct response to the question, of course it's nice if someone, you know, if your main two or your first choice at this moment in time get injured or not available, then you've got two lads who can go in and still, you know, not weaken the team, as it were. So of course it's a good luxury to have.
Looking ahead to Morecambe then, they're 20th in the division, but I think we've already seen this season league position goes out the window, doesn't it? I mean, looking at games against Macclesfield, Cheltenham for example, it's all on the day, and how you perform on the day, you can't take anything for granted.
Of course, I think what you'll find is two things really. That what you said, obviously they'll be fighting, you know, with these Morecambe, you know, Morecambe do the same sort of thing every year. They peak, then they go for a little lull, but they're always there. And obviously I know the manager's a good guy. You know, there's always whispers around the league that they don't have much of a budget type thing, and you know, so they always, you know, punch above their weight, and they got a good karma about their squad. And I've had some bad times against Morecambe teams. I've had some good times against Morecambe teams. The same for this league. But I think what you'll find as well, my second point, is that around this time now, the conditions make the game levelers. You know, start of the season, you know, plum pitch, you know, no wind, no rain. You know, you're expecting Forest Green to like play teams off the pitch, but once the rain comes down and the pitches get soddy and it's wind one half and it's in your face in the other half, the games become, you know, leveler, and it's all about then who's got the spirit, who's got the fight and determination. And I think you'll find that will happen, you know, throughout the Christmas period, as it does every year, and it'll be interesting to see how we compete against, you know, that, definitely.
So it's a really crucial time of the season then, this build up to, like you say, that busy Christmas period, where we can find out where we're going to be come January.
No, I wouldn't say. Well, I would say, from experience, I think the crucial part is when you come out of Christmas and then all of a sudden you're in mid-January and you're like, oh, we're 9th, we're 8th. You're like, wow, we're 3 points off the playoffs. Oh, we're in the top 3. Then all of a sudden you're like, you put a 10-game run together, an 8-game run together, and then you're almost, the season for some reason just flies by after January, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, we can actually get in the playoffs here, or we could stay in the top 3, or, you know, at the back end of other teams I've been at or whatnot, oh, we can avoid relegation, whatever your situation is. I mean, so to come through that Christmas period and into January, and then you'll pretty much gauge what your aspirations will be for the end of the season, whether you're going to be in the top 3, whether you're going to be in a relegation battle or you're going to try and make the playoffs. Hopefully, I think I would take in and around, you know, the top 8 type thing, and in amongst it, but playing well type thing. I think we'll give ourselves a chance in the back end, but that's miles away. You know, we got so many games before we can even think about that. Definitely.
Finally, then, is it important as well not to get distracted by that FA Cup replay against Oxford on the Tuesday night afterwards?
Good question. For me, it is a distraction for me. I played a Checker Trade game the other day, and I joked to the lads, you know, my record in the Checker Trade Trophy is literally, I don't even want to say it. If you want to see my record, if you want to see my record, for some reason, I think once I get selected to play in that competition, I think God puts 2 breeze blocks on my feet and says, "You shall not run today." I think because, for whatever reason, you know, not disrespecting the competition, and obviously because it's a competitive game. You know, there's no real, like, I know we used it for fitness, like exercise for myself the other day, but obviously, you know, you're still expected to go out there and perform. But for however it's panned out in that competition, it's just, I've not had the bite or whatever. That's how my performance have turned out, you know. it's strange. But so for me, that is a massive distraction. Albeit there's a great opportunity to go to Wembley, and I think when the format changed, the competition was made. People didn't take it as serious. I don't think people sort of seeing it as an opportunity to bed players, or it's a first team game, but it's just a weird competition in my opinion. FA Cup though is a lot more serious for me, because FA Cup, listen, make no bones about it, money for the club. As cheesy as it sounds, fairy tales. I've gone to one of my teams. We went to Anfield. Played Liverpool. All the big boys are playing. So cup runs could, especially when your season's not going so well. Thankfully, we're doing okay at the moment. But a cup run is always welcome, and I'm not going to get caught up in distraction-wise. Listen, there's 18, 20 lads here. There's lads who sit on the bench. We've got more than enough legs to fulfil a fixture in the FA Cup, of course. FA Cup's there's a lot of chemistry about it, and hopefully we can get through the tie on a Tuesday. I think what you've got to do, play one more tie before. One more tie. So hopefully we can win 2 good games. Then we can hopefully get a big one, get a decent draw of a game at New Lawn, and then get a good return leg somewhere big.
Nice to play at Anfield, Old Trafford.
Anfield,
what
let's go for. I want to say Old Trafford.
Yeah. But
Marino just blocks up shot, doesn't he? So it won't be an enjoyable game.
We could beat them with the 4.
Yeah, I think we'll take going to United. Now, who would I want to play? I've been to the Emirates. Anfield, they're too quick. They're too quick. That counter-attacking football is dangerous. Chelsea look good this year. Who else is up? City. Let's go Etihad. That's a joke.
Because they're not quick enough.
No. Let's not go there either. I don't know. Probably Trafford, innit?
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to play at. You say, I played at Old Trafford. So.
Well, let's hope there's no bruise blocks on your feet this Saturday.
No. I'll be all right. I'm all right. It's league proper. Up for it. Hopefully get for a good week's training and pain-free. So yeah, need 3 points.